Hey everybody, welcome once again to a Low on Health year-end review, this one for 2021, and this one covering life events, in which case it was a very, very interesting year in 2021, which was interesting to think because we all thought 2020 was going to be interesting and one of the most interesting year, in which case, no, 2021 was just as interesting. Ironically, I ended up playing more video games.
Interesting.
But nonetheless, what we're going to do is go over some of the high points, not highlights, but just the milestones of the year. In which case, starting off here, we have work. Work has been fine for both of us. It's been a little bit more challenging for me, in a good, bad way, too. I've had people come and go, basically people retiring and whatnot.
I changed my position.
Did you technically,
yeah.
in 2021, yeah, so your position technically changed. I got new staff, which is good. You just get new blood in and try stuff out. We've had some people left. Good and bad. We also had the vaccines in 2021. You got your Pfizer first. You were able to get it a little bit earlier because you went under. You kind of found a loophole for you to get it earlier.
It wasn't a loophole.
It was a loophole.
It wasn't a
It was
loophole.
Anywho.
It was medically necessary, medically vulnerable.
I got the Johnson & Johnson because I'm just cheap and I want the one-shot thing. But I did get my booster as a Pfizer, and you've continued Pfizer. We mentioned we did kind of feel a little bit of the effects of the vaccine, but not to the point where we can't do anything.
But it was, just
And that's just us, and that's just how our bodies work. Another thing we got here is we will say after 2020 and/or basically since COVID and Kai, we have definitely adopted a two-bedroom situation here to where we don't actually sleep in the same bed.
Yeah,
anymore.
mainly because we started that when they had us on the split schedule.
For work, and then with Kai, we kind of were doing that, so we would be up with her or waking up early with her, and it just makes it a lot easier for both of us to sleep.
To sleep quality, yeah.
And luckily, we are in a situation where we have a place where we have two bedrooms, where we can afford to have two beds, and we have that room. And so we don't mind it.
And the main reason is because you're an extremely light sleeper, like a leaf blows outside and you wake up. And I'm an extremely heavy sleeper who snores and who we've not been able to prevent snoring for. So, this is not a commentary on the status of our relationship or the happiness of it, but it is a commentary on the quality of our sleep. It's better.
And when you think about most of your life, you sleep by yourself when you're a kid. You sleep by yourself when you're single and stuff. So it's just nicer. Why do you have to concede to that if you don't need to?
Yeah, exactly.
Another thing that happened is that Rose and her D&D friend group. So roughly now, I don't know if we haven't brought this up that much often. For roughly over a year now, a year plus, easily, you've been playing online D&D with these individuals every Saturday night.
Via Discord voice chat and Roll20.
So you guys have seen each other at Ren fairs and other outside events, but this was the first time they came over this side to go to the beach, and they came over here to the place.
The only one that wasn't able to come was Patrick.
Yeah.
Even our member from Michigan, Liam, was able to come down.
So that was kind of cool. You had everybody down here. You had a little birthday thing for him, and it was just nice to see everybody could come out. Kai could see everybody. That was kind of cool to actually have, because our place is relatively sized to do that. What else we got going on here? Last year we also have I went the whole year without seeing
our friends
Marcus and Lilia, which I think we've done other life event videos where they were highlighted because they were here and we spent a lot of time with them. And unfortunately, just due to COVID and scheduling and stuff, they moved recently, which is, like I said, is something I really want to go see their new place. It looks awesome, actually. You've been there once for a birthday shindig.
Yeah, for their birthday party May 2020, 2021.
And they're
May 2021. Everyone was fully vaccinated, and Omicron hadn't showed up yet.
Just like with the D&D visit, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Tested. Yeah, same thing for the D&D visit.
But it just comes down to they're very happening people, and just usually from COVID, we just didn't want to incur that risk, even being outside and stuff. And then sometimes we would think about going over there, but then I think was CPAC then?
Yes.
CPAC was. It just never kind of lined up, unfortunately. But hopefully in 2022 I'll make it over there. We'll see what happens. We still have half a year. It's currently July, and I still haven't made it over there.
Yeah, once they're back from their summer trip, hopefully.
Another thing we got going on there is Montanero, the new album from Lil Nas X.
Montanero. You always want to add an extra syllable in there. It's not Montanero. It's just Montero. Quit trying to rename Nas.
came out last year, and that's actually the first album that I bought with iTunes. Like I still had money on my account for some reason, and I've never actually bought music through iTunes at all. So I was
Really?
happy.
Never?
Yeah, never. I just never had a reason to. I just would YouTube something.
I got it, and yeah.
So that was like the first time I did that. You also bought the album, and the
yeah,
album is
the whole
solid.
album
Like I
is
really love
stellar.
it. I prefer my favorite song is "Lost in the Citadel" because it has that old type of punk alternative type of vibe to it. But no, I'm happy to see him trying to do a bunch of different things, and it is just phenomenal. Like everybody knows at this point how good it is.
I think my favorites are probably That's What I Really Want and Call Me By Your Name. Those are probably my two favorites on the album. But the whole album is stellar. Like there is not a bad song on that album.
And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through a couple of links that I've opened up to highlight things. So one of the first one is as you can see here, and maybe my other life events video or my videos from 2020. Unfortunately, our head of our office passed away on January 1st, 2021. And somebody else has been put in charge now, which is fine. But one of their things is they kind of lessened the restrictions on facial hair. In which
is
case
nice.
a lot of people have jumped on top of that, myself included. And the last time I actually had that was back in 2009 when I was unemployed, where my hair was almost just as long and I had just this much.
I think your hair might actually be longer than it was then.
Yeah, we can see it's gone. I still haven't got a haircut since COVID. I need to because it's getting stuck and caught and stuff, and it's annoying.
I also haven't. And like it's a little more difficult to see with this shirt.
So we need to eventually work on that. But no, it was nice to be able to do that and kind of grow that out.
And it's also more comfortable for you too. You don't have to shave as frequently. So
The next one here
nice.
is Kentanaro. This is a tweet from
you keep adding syllables to people's names.
This is a-
Kentaro Muria.
post from one of our people we follow, or people, Alex. He posted this, and I liked his
Miura.
post the most. So the man behind Berserk unfortunately passed away last year.
He had chronic health issues.
Yes, and there was always
Wasn't
delays.
some of it due to overwork?
I'm not too sure, but his artwork was always still done by hand and extremely intricate with Berserk. So yes, it was very sad for his passing. Apparently there are some manuscripts that his people that work with him are going to finish maybe the series or whatnot, but I always have loved Berserk, and you've kind of gotten into Berserk. And we actually know a lot of other people in my circles that I follow online who are into Berserk. So that really does suck that he passed. Another thing that happened, what we got here is I finally got a watch or a
smartwatch.
Fitbit type of thing. Like I did a lot of research. I still got it on right now, and of course,
And you got me a smartwatch too.
oh yeah, I got you a smartwatch.
You got me an Apple Watch.
And
It's
it's
just
like the
like
cheapest thing.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about this one is that
didn't
like, the
add
picture I
some
have
to
on it is, of course, Monica from Doki Doki Literature Club. So she's always watching.
She's always with
What
you.
I really like about this mainly is the idea of like just having alarms and everything just at my fingertips. Like a
It's
watch is a
very
watch, but like this can't even
handy.
do like, hey, blah blah blah, do blah blah. I'm not gonna say anything because I have that around here and it's like trigger off.
Yeah, you
But
probably trigger mine because it listens
But
to
this
you.
is my main wake up alarm now because I can just be woken up with vibrations on my arm. Like I'm that light of a sleeper, as
Yes,
we mentioned
you are.
before. So instead of having it on my phone where I have to reach for it, having it just right here to do anything is just very nice to have. And I really have just very much enjoyed having a timer and stopwatch and stuff.
Yeah,
on my wrist.
I use the timer on mine all the time,
And because
especially at work.
it also has the Fitbit track and stuff of heart rate and stuff, and because this is one of the lower quality ones, it can go like roughly 4 to 5 days without needing being charged as opposed to like an Apple Watch because it's not like Wi-Fi or anything; it's straight up Bluetooth. But no, I've been enjoying it, and it's been really kind of cool.
It still blows me the way that you got me an Apple Watch and you didn't get one for yourself.
Because my thing is with warehousing logistics, I'm way too afraid that this is going to get dinged up, so I'm not going to spend over X amount. Spending under 50, I think this was maybe 27 for this is fine, yeah.
Wow.
So that's why I don't have anything high quality that way. The next thing here is we only did one Kai update video in 2021. I did some smaller little snippet ones, but the full Kai update one, we only did one last year.
There wasn't that much any really major stuff.
And
that
we
happened
plan
with
on
Kai
doing
last
one
year.
very soon now that one encapsulates basically July 18th, 2021 to now, which is June 2022. So the idea is we plan on doing a video very shortly about the recent stuff because we've actually done maybe two
Couple
notable things with her. But she's still alive and well.
And she just heard her. Oh, there she is, just woofing in the background here.
But we will do a video with her very shortly. But we only did one last year. I will also say, if you notice here, it says YouTube Premium. So last year, Xbox gave me like a free trial for YouTube Premium, and I love not having ads. I love being able to download stuff and have stuff play in the
You
background.
got rid of it very briefly, and then you're like, no,
And
I
then
want
once
it
my
back.
trial ended, and then I was getting all that stuff again, I'm like,
You're like,
how much
"You
is
know
this?
what? Actually,
And the amount of YouTube I watch, I do think it's actually worth subscribing to YouTube for a
yeah,
year
you
for
watch
premium.
a ton of YouTube.
And it's just so much easier. Yes, there's ad blocker for TV and this and that. But I definitely recommend, if you're using YouTube a bunch, go ahead and just subscribe to it. How much content have we gotten from it?
try
More
it
than
out.
anything.
Yeah.
Just give it a shot. I've been doing that. So usually I don't subscribe to that many services, but YouTube is now actually one that I have. Another one that I have is Corridor Digital, which these people have done. You probably have definitely seen videos on YouTube.
You, at the
that
very least,
they have
you've
done.
seen YouTube artists react.
Yeah, they do VX arts, react.
VFX
But I was
arts
following them. They do cool behind the scenes things, and then basically they were doing Son of a Dungeon, which was their D&D thing, which everybody has done a D&D thing. Escapists
because
has
everyone
done
got
one.
into D&D
Roll
in 2020.
Yeah. So how they're doing
Valid.
how they're doing a virtual production, like the production of it is just very interesting, and they're doing
It's
the behind
really
the
cool,
scenes,
yeah.
explaining it. They're like pioneering stuff from a consumer standpoint. Yes, professional has done stuff, but like seeing it done from a consumer standpoint is just fascinating to me. To the point where I have subscribed to their service. This way I can get 4K feeds from their website, which is usually why I do a lot of stuff, because I want the 4K stuff. But I'm just really happy, and they have a thing where like you get producer points. So we see here I have 30 producer points. So they have other projects that they want to do, and you can put producer points to them, and once they hit the goal, they'll work on that project. So that kind of gives you a way to like steer what you maybe want to see from them. But subscribing to their website directly gives them so much more revenue through, rather than subscriptions or views on YouTube, and get them to do stuff. They could also put stuff on this website that might get flagged or demonetized on YouTube. They can go ahead and put it on their website.
They can put bonus content there, yeah.
It's just really good, and I don't subscribe to that type of stuff, but they convinced me it's worth the value, and ironically, they have sustained that. Like, they have constantly met that bar for me.
Then they also seem like good people.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, a couple of them are just, like, have really stellar personalities, like, especially Ren. He has an excellent personality.
And I'm not even going to call them influencers, but because of them and watching their videos and stuff, I definitely, my headphones, my Aeroplex bone conductive headphones, I got because I saw them wear them. The shoes I got is because I'll wear them. And they don't necessarily have ever really done ads from them. Yes, they do Vessi ads. But like that just kind of made me go, okay, these people use these products. I see them wearing the products. They're not just saying they use them, but you can see them wearing them and using them day to day.
Yeah.
Especially the headphones, the Aeroplexes.
Those things are so cool, the bone conduction headphones.
But yeah, no, I enjoy Corridor Digital. Another thing that happened last year is we got you the iPad Pro. Mm-hmm. Yes. Like we trade in your own iMac. We got that, and it has that LiDAR scanning, so it can do like 3D scans of your environment.
It's really neat.
And it's really neat, and I knew it could do that. And what you see here, this is essentially a 3D scan of our stairwell. So if you've been to our place, you have seen our stairwell where we have CDs here, and then we have, if you go up, we have all those video games, we have the murals and stuff. So this is a 3D scan of our stairwell, and it's just cool that this program can do. Like you can see my Dragon Ball Z wall scroll, and it gets tinky at times depending on how you do it. I'm still getting used to it.
As you see.
But no, it's just really cool being
It's
able
so
to like
cool.
see the stairs, see what's in our thing, and just be able to rotate it around. And this year, life events, I'm not going to go into too much detail here, but I got into Gundams and Gundam model making and Gunpla and stuff. So one of the cool things I thought we could do with this is actually scan models. So here is a scan of one of my model kits that I made, like this one here. And this is kind of like a cityscape that I made, and then I did a 3D scan of it. Now, the quality is not great.
Because it's so tiny.
Because it's so tiny, it can only do so well. But this is interesting to think of, like, I think model building the future, like the idea is, like, if you could do high-res scan of this, you can then share your creations. You could show the weather, and you could show the battle damage. But I really enjoyed just trying this out, and it was just really cool how to do this. Like, I could probably put this in an actual 3D rendering program and kind of touch it up here and there. But being able just to kind of, like, know that this is a 3D environment that has been rendered just using an iPad. And technically now you can just do this with your phone. If it's a new enough phone, you can do this. This is my more favorite Gundam suit here that has like big scissors, so it's cutting that. None of this is period accurate, but it's just me just scoofing around. But being able to do this is just really, really cool, I think. and then just to flip it onto a sadder tone, last year, my father passed away. Some of you maybe have met my father, haven't met my father, but we knew earlier the year before that he was diagnosed with cancer, and he was fighting it and everything. But the idea is
it wasn't unexpected.
It wasn't unexpected. So he was doing that for roughly a year.
It's the other screen that you need to move.
Oh, there we go. Anywho. So what I decided to want to do was put together a timeline of his life. Usually when somebody passes, everybody goes through photo albums. Like we've done this for a couple of people. And essentially
it's always done afterwards.
It's always done.
I thought it would be interesting and nice to compile all of that stuff before he passed and have him weigh in on his own life timeline.
Yes.
Which is what you hear is them.
So what I did is I talked to his family. We got a bunch of information together, got pictures from all the photo albums, put them in a chronological order, and then I Zoom called him and we went over all the different things that he was into, like what cars he had. And then as we go on, we see pictures here. Let me see if I can find one of the other things here. But it was basically, I did 2 sessions of talking with him about his life, where he was, what jobs he was working, all the different times that he has moved. See if I can find one of the move pictures here. So this is like, I was like, okay, so he moved from New York or from Virginia to Florida. And it was just nice you could hear from his own voice about why he moved, why he was doing, and about his life. And I have this up on YouTube. It's unlisted, so the idea is this way, fans and family, if they want to have access to this, I can just send them a link and they could see it too. But no, it was just really cool to like do that with him.
You know, I was just surprised that he didn't succumb to COVID, that he didn't catch and succumb to COVID.
Yes, I was very happy that he didn't. But yes, unfortunately, cancer, and I know we have lost actually a lot of friends and family have lost people, not from COVID, but just either from cancer or other events in the last year or so. But yeah, it was just nice to be able to talk to him about his life and have an actual record of it, as opposed to just going through stuff and just doing a slideshow. And then even his funeral, we basically didn't go down there, so it was live streamed because I guess funerals had definitely gotten used to that. So that's us. You can see Kai watching his funeral there. But yeah, 2021 was just a very interesting year. Like we thought 2020 was going to be interesting, but I think 2021 was even more interesting. And I'm going to actually do a longer video about Gundam in general models and Gunpla, which is going to be a separate video because I got really big into that. But yeah, that's going to be our life events from 2021. Thank everybody for watching, and we'll catch you next time.